Oh, hi guys.
Moved. Hello.
Hi guys.
Hello. Hello.
So we're back.
What do we got?
Okay.
What do we got?
So we are Dawn and Kyle, and
I'm Kyle.
yeah,
That's Dawn.
obviously I'm
Maybe
Dawn.
you put it together.
Probably
not though.
I mean, there are girls named Kyle.
Yeah.
I could have been a Kyle.
Kylie?
You could have been a Dawn.
No, I would never
No,
have been
there
a
is
Dawn.
there is a Kyle out there. Many women out there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay. Anyway.
So hi.
Whatever.
We haven't.
Oh right, the Real Housewife lady. That's a Kyle.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know any of those.
You know it.
Never mind.
If you see us looking from that camera to that camera, it's because we have two cameras set up. So
one for Facebook and one for YouTube. We will link the YouTube in the description or somewhere, so you can check back and look at the last.
I don't know.
6.
So here's the deal. We've been doing this for a couple months now.
Yep.
We try to do them every week. We missed the
we
last
missed a couple
two.
weeks. We'll go over that
We'll go over that in just a minute, like why we did that. But before we do that, just want you guys to like, comment, share. If you're watching this on the replay in Facebook, let us know. We like to interact with you. So if you have a question or you want us to address something, like, let us know.
Share with us.
Yeah.
Because that's the entire reason why we want to do this, is we want to help people. We want to hear other people's perspectives. So let us know. Let us know what you think. Let us know how you feel. I do have. Well, first of all, we're not licensed counselors. We will never be licensed counselors. We're just a married couple. We've been married for 9 years, and we learned some things. And the things we learned, we've decided to share. That's where we're at. That's what we do. If you want to take something from what we say, awesome. If you don't, super great. That's perfectly fine.
And go away.
Yeah. We two different announcements, or
announcements.
Not really announcements. I don't know. Whatever.
Housekeeping.
Housekeeping. I like that. First of all, we make these videos public because we want the public to see it. We want people who either want or need to see it to be able to see it. The negative with that is that anybody gets to see it. All people get to see it. So, hello, Cynthia. Welcome. There's one thing that we will not budge on at all. If you send either one of us anything inappropriate at all, you will be blocked immediately and without any explanation.
Yeah.
That's just it.
Yeah.
We won't let anything that comes through any type of social media threaten our marriage. So we just won't do it. Okay?
Obviously something happened.
Yeah,
to make
obviously.
That happen. And I had
nothing
to block
else,
someone.
Nothing else needs to be said about it. It just happened.
Yeah.
And we're going to lay that one ground rule down. It should not have to have been said, but it had.
Yeah.
So there you go. She was nice enough to share that with me, and we summarily
blocked this
fixed
person
that thing
immediately. Bye.
Secondarily, let's take the elephant in the room and throw it out. We were gone for 2 weeks, right? That was because we had a bad couple of weeks.
Really bad.
Really bad.
We've had our marriage tested a lot in the last couple of weeks.
We had discussions and
lots
long
of tears,
text conversations and tears. Yeah. And what we decided to do is exactly what we have suggested that you do with your marriage. We took a break from what was taking away from our marriage. We talked a lot with each other, and we've also decided to talk a lot with therapists.
Yep. Yeah, we both have started seeing therapists on our own, just to work on ourselves. And thanks, Cynthia. And eventually we'll do couples therapy. But this isn't a sign of weakness to do therapy, guys. I think that's a little bit of a stereotype right now, is that like, well, if you need a therapist, there must be something really wrong with you. Sorry, I'm shaking the table. But we're doing it because we want to better ourselves and be better spouses to each other. So,
and we're also doing it as part of this week's topic, our commitment. Our commitment to each other is to be the best people that we can be for each other.
Yeah. So we're doing the 4 C's of marriage, and they are, communication, commitment, compromise, and compassion. Last time, 2 weeks ago, we did communication. So if you want to watch that back, you can find it on our timeline, or you can watch it on YouTube. But anyway, so this week is commitment, which is really ironic since this week our commitment was very much tested.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And the the episode before that was the divorce episode. So I mean, we've been in those spots.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think that any marriage at all is perfect. Even though we're giving things out,
Mm-hmm.
we ain't perfect, and we're
No,
never gonna be perfect.
we got our ish stinks just like yours. Okay.
But we
Um.
got poopery. I don't know. That was dumb. I'm sorry. All right.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So are we just gonna read some
Yeah.
things?
One of
Or?
the big questions when we first started going through this, and one of the things that we noticed that was written is, "Are you going to actually do what you committed to do when you made your vows?" Because guaranteed, and we're examples of this. Guaranteed, it'll be tested.
Yeah.
100%, and time again, it'll be tested.
Yep.
Can you, as a couple and as individuals, stand up to that?
Mm-hmm.
That's commitment. That's 100% for life. We're never stopping.
Yeah, because I mean, it's easy to love your spouse on your honeymoon or when you're on a vacation or life is just going really well. But when, life gets really hard and there's a curveball thrown at you, one of you does something or whatever, maybe both of you do something, whatever, it doesn't matter. Whatever life hands you, are you going to be able to commit to each other and remember those vows?
It says in there, no matter where you've done it, we got married at a courthouse and they had different things, but it is for better or for worse. Sickness and in health. Every piece of what life is, that's what you're committed to.
Yep.
Understand that, especially for those couples that are watching or looking at it and they haven't been married yet. Maybe you've lived together for a long time, or maybe you haven't. Marriage is a different thing, but understand what you're saying when you're saying what you're saying on that day. You're committed. Um, there are many ways to be committed, but the I'm willing to sacrifice for us way is the one that's going to give your marriage a better chance at succeeding. That's what the researchers say. Now, there's a caveat to that. What we found was, and what we've experienced with other marriages, as well as, I don't think in ours, but in ones that I've witnessed, is don't let one person sacrifice so much that they become the martyr.
Mm-hmm.
Because if they become the martyr, well, then resentment builds up,
Yeah.
and there is going to be problems, lots of problems. Okay.
Yep.
So we wrote down a bunch of ideas for commitment, and these relate very closely to the 5 love languages.
Yeah. So we've talked about the 5 love languages a few times.
So good.
Probably referenced it almost every live now.
Yes.
If you haven't taken the 5 love language test, you should. Even if you're like a single person,
Yes.
it can help you a lot. Like just to know like what your love language is, because everybody's got a different one. So
once I figured out what my love languages were, it helped me understand myself.
yeah,
And understand
because we
why.
always love people in our own love language.
Yes.
Which, as like if you have a spouse, they aren't usually the same as you. So you
Right.
may be loving them with words or gifts or whatever because that's what you love. But they're like, that does nothing for me.
Yep.
I need physical touch and I need quality time. And so
you could one of mine at least is gifts. And you could give me gifts and I'll appreciate them and it's wonderful and I appreciate that you thought about me. But that's not how to love me.
Yeah.
The best. Okay.
So yes, ideas for commitment. Say it with actions. Let your behavior reflect your commitment. Make yourself available when your spouse wants to talk. Spend time alone with your spouse. This is a part of our spending time alone doing this. What?
So last night we were watching movies, sitting around, both of us, and typically, and I think we're both equally guilty, but she won't say that you're sitting there, you're watching a movie, you pick up your phone and you scroll through Facebook, or you do something else. I have games that I play on my stuff. Last night, I don't think either one of us said it out loud, but we made it a point to, nope, we're going to put the phones down. We're going to have this piece together right now. And typically when we do that, something will come up and we'll talk. And a movie takes 4 hours to watch.
Yeah, for some reason movies always take us like 4 to 6 hours because
we don't shut up.
I guess that's a good thing. But yeah, I mean, quality time, even if that's not your love language, like it's really important. And quality time is not sitting on your phones together or sitting in the same room. It's like actually
that lovey-dovey stuff.
It doesn't have to be lovey-dovey, but you got to turn off the distractions and focus on each other. That's quality time.
Well, and in one of those things, I like the way it says it. Build hedges where necessary to guard against external temptations and distractions. So keep everything out that wouldn't benefit that quality time. Didn't you just say that? I just
I
said
don't
it
know.
completely different.
That's
Okay.
typical for us. We'll say the same thing, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Does
Yeah.
anybody experience that
Yeah.
with your spouse? You literally say the exact same thing, but in a different way, and you're both like, all of a sudden, we do this all the time. We'll be like,
Wait a minute.
we're saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Please tell me that we're not alone.
We're speaking past each other.
Yeah.
Or at each other.
Say it with words.
Say it with words. Tell your spouse. Yeah. Oh, words.
You say it.
Tell your spouse that you're committed to your marriage for the rest of your life. Let your kids know that you and your spouse are committed to each other through thick and thin. Mm-hmm. That's one thing. We do not have children, but we can understand how they could put a stress on a marriage, and understand if you don't make that commitment evident, how would your children feel when they don't know if mommy and daddy are going to get divorced next week, next month, next year? If they don't see it through your words or hear it through your words, you have to tell them.
Yeah.
I mean, some kids are dumb.
Well, sometimes I think it's just nice to hear, like, I appreciate you, I'm committed to you, I love you, because he's great with words, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he's great at saying I love you, like, all day long. But I know a lot of couples that's not the case.
Yeah.
Yes,
what's the joke? The old man got married, and he said, "I loved you." Right? I'm gonna tell it terribly.
You're gonna tell this wrong. Yes, I know where you're going.
And then years go by, and he never says it again. And finally, the wife breaks down, and she looks at him, and she goes, "Listen, you haven't said I love you in 30 years."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I said it once. If it changes, I'll let you know." Right? That's not fair. No. Especially if your spouse's love language is words of affirmation. Yeah. I need to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remind yourself of all the positive aspects of your relationship. What do you love about your spouse? How has being married blessed you? How has marriage made you grow? What are you thankful for? If you're a Christian or are you a religious person at all, I mean, you can ask the Holy Spirit, ask God to bring things to mind, because sometimes, you just need to stop and pray. I actually did that a lot over the last couple weeks because of the challenges that we faced. Took a lot of time for myself to kind of just, okay, what is it that I love about my marriage? What is it I love about Kyle? What is it that makes me happy and what doesn't? I kind of listed out some pros and cons, and I did a lot of praying.
And I did a lot of that myself, thinking about what would I miss? Mm-hmm. What would I be giving up if things were different? If we don't put the effort into it. Not work, effort. Set goals. How would you like to see your marriage grow? What areas would you like to see improve? Map out a game plan to achieve those goals and work toward them. Here's where I have a difficulty. We can set goals. One of our goals was to, renew our vows? Or actually have a wedding service at 10 years.
You're jumping ahead.
No, what? I can do that. But
I can do that.
I made it up. Now I lost my train of thought.
Sorry, goals.
But setting goals within stuff is great. Now, the second piece of what areas would you like to see improve? I have difficulty with that sometimes because when she says things that I could improve or we could improve together, I have to remind myself that it's not an attack.
Yeah.
It's not you suck because or you don't fulfill me in this way. That's not fair. And that doesn't let you have open communication.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we've talked about that, to allow your spouse to speak into your life, even when it's uncomfortable and awkward.
Yeah.
Don't get defensive.
You're half off the Facebook.
I'm trying really hard to be in both.
I know. It's really hard.
I don't know. It feels like we have no space in this. So if I'm over here, I'm sorry. I'm trying to... Okay.
Just maintenance stuff, sorry.
Get others involved. Surround yourselves with supportive individuals who share your values and want to see your marriage succeed. Form accountability partners. Seek out an older married couple to mentor you and your spouse. We've talked about this a few times.
Almost all of the time.
Yeah. It's so important to have good accountability and friends or family to give you wisdom when you're struggling. Over the last couple of weeks when we were struggling, I reached out to those, few friends that I trust. And I was like, tell me, am I crazy? Give me wisdom. I need to hear the truth.
Yep.
And you need that.
And
And we're going to therapy, which is another way to reach out.
And those close friends and family are the people that when you say, tell me the truth, they will. Like, they will punch you in the face, physically or verbally, whatever you need, because that's what you need. And they know that if you're asking, you want it.
Yeah.
But also, if you don't want it, don't ask
Don't
for
ask.
it, because it ain't going to help.
The last thing, a way to show your commitment to each other is to renew your vows. Like he said earlier, we got married almost 10 years ago. Our 10 years will be in April.
Yep.
And we've talked a lot about renewing our vows someday, doing an actual ceremony and reception, because we didn't do that the first time. We did a courthouse. So that's something we throw around all the time. But yeah, renew your vows, even if you just do something in your living room. Like,
yeah,
it doesn't have to be public.
It is.
It does have public. Wait,
Yeah.
Nothing? Words are hard.
Take it public. Do
it live.
Show. Yeah, well, that's true. Show your commitment. Be vulnerable. I said naked last time, and that was not what I wanted
naked.
to say. But what other things do you have to add to that? Anything?
To the public, or
Just anything. Commitment. 100%.
Marriage is not for the weak. I'm just gonna say that. How honest do I want to be right now? Over the last couple weeks, because of what we were facing, I'll be real, I actually thought about my life without him, and I haven't ever done that before. It, like I said earlier in the video, like I lost my train of thought now.
She was singing Kelly Clarkson, "My Life Would Suck Without You," a lot that last week.
Shoot, I lost my thought.
It was probably pretty great.
It was probably great.
Went with the elephant, I think. But
I don't know, guys. Like, if you're married and you're struggling, just know that there is a way out. Get therapy. Get to someone who can, like, speak life into you and your marriage. Yeah.
But understand that
it does take two.
Yeah.
That's the commitment part too. Like, you can't have one of you kind of out the door and one of you in.
Yes.
Like, sorry, but that's never really gonna work.
Yeah. And it doesn't. It has been proved over and over and over. It won't work. You said some big words on that day, or you're going to say big words on that day. Mm-hmm. Understand what they mean. Understand what that means to the other person, and fill them. Do what you can to have the best marriage that anybody has ever seen. Not just in public.
Right.
At home.
Yeah.
When nobody's looking. When nothing else is going on. When there's no special and it's not a show. Have the best marriage.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up in just a second because we're at 18 minutes. But I got a friend who thought she just couldn't believe that I was struggling with anything in my marriage because she just sees the highlight reel on Facebook. You know, like, that's really what Facebook and social media is. Most people aren't going to share their dirt. Don't get wrapped up in, like, oh, their marriage is so perfect, or they look like they have such a great life. Like, life is still hard. We're still human, and everybody struggles. Yep. So, anyway, with that note.
Yay! Happy tears!
Anyway, all right, guys. We're at 18 minutes, and we want to stop now.
And we get to eat. So,
yeah.
Yay.
We have some soup. It smells delicious. So, everybody have a fabulous night, and we will see you maybe next week.
We've got some stuff coming up.
My sibling Dave is coming into town, and we might do a live with them about marriage and kids. So we might,
great.
So just stay tuned.
They know about it, kind of.
We just might not do it Sunday night. We'll see what day we have available. So there you go.
And there's some other stuff coming up in the near future with my goodie stuff. So my teeth. Get my teeth fixed. But that's pretty major. Stuff. So we might miss a couple of times there. So anyway, whatever.
All that to say, bye guys.
Bye.